So today we're going to be making these awesome looking party bead coasters. All the materials are used from things I already had at home, and these are a great way to mark off which cup belongs to whom when you have guests or when you have friends over. Now let's begin! So you'll need some scrap pieces of fabric. I just recycled mine from an old t-shirt, and also a few party beads that you don't mind cutting up. I got mine left from last year New Year. You want to cut open the necklace where you see the two beads are joined together by glue. That's an ugly part, so we won't be needing that for the rest of our project. Take one end of the necklace, put some hot glue on the first bead, and then press it down firmly onto that piece of fabric. Now moving on to the second bead, we want to attach some hot glue and then twist the necklace so the second bead forms a 90-degree angle from the first bead. And then the third bead, same thing, we're going to attach some glue and then twist it at a 90-degree angle so it kind of forms like a V shape. And then same thing with the last bead, we're just going to glue it in where the little spot is left between the first and the third bead, and the first circle of beads is complete. And now we'll want to move on to the second layer of the beads, and as you're gluing, you'll notice that some of the beads, they have flaws on one end of the bead, and maybe the other end is just perfectly nice and shiny. So what you want to do is kind of twist the beads so the ugly side or the flawed side is going to be facing down. To speed up the process, you can draw a circle of hot glue onto the fabric first and then place your beads one by one onto the glue. I'm just going to speed up the process a little bit here. So same thing, you're going to put down some glue and then rotate the beads to put it on the fabric, and then you can press it down with your hands, or you can also find something that has a flat surface and press it down with that to keep the coaster flat. At the end of your necklace, you want to glue down the last part, and if you're happy with the size of your coaster, you can cut it out. Now the fabric that I am using doesn't fray, so I can just cut it out along the edge of the beads. But if yours does fray, you can cut out a bit of extra and fold it in like what I did over here. And if you like the look of these, you can go ahead and make them in every single color of the rainbow like what I did here, because I had all these colorful necklaces left over from the New Year's. Now let's move on to the big colorful coaster. Well, first you gotta choose 3 colors and try to untangle them. Decide which color you want to have in the middle of your coaster and snip off 4 beads exactly to create the little center. And just like what we did with the first few coasters, we're going to take the 4 beads and form it into a square. Then using the remaining beads, you want to measure out how many you'll need to make the second row of beads. In this case, I used 8 beads. The best way to glue down these beads are by gluing down the first and last bead first, and then joining the ones in the middle, so that it's going to give you a very smooth circle. I'm doing a total of 3 rings for the first color, and then I'll move on to the next purple. Just like what I did earlier, I'm just going to go ahead and measure out how many beads I will need to form the next circle, cut those out, and then glue the first and last pieces onto the fabric, and then connecting the middle parts. And don't worry about the little strands of hot glue flying everywhere. We'll be able to pull all those out once we're all done with the project. Lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and cut off all the excess fabric, and then you got yourself a colorful large coaster. These coasters are a great way to spice up any room or any party. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next video. Bye!